X-Men 4th Class. Ancient's corpse delivered without warning throughout the school. The students gathered without explanation in the gym. Previously on Hatoful Boyfriend. The headmaster's appearing on screen to announce an emergency situation and then turning up dead. The gray gym enclosing the school. The gray dome enclosing the school. The scarecrow appearing for no apparent reason in the sealed-off building. And now, the students shot dead if they tried to escape. What's going on outside? Now, humiliating. How humiliating. Now, humiliation! No, how humiliating. It would seem that things were worse than we ever expected. If only I'd stopped him. There was nothing we could do that we didn't, Kawhi. The last thing you need to do now is start mourning what we've lost. You don't intend to give up now, do you? No, I'm fine. I'm just a little sick. I think I'm going to throw up again. We have to keep going. I think we should keep quiet about this to everyone in the gym. We can explain to them after we figured out what to do. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. This is some sort of aviary, right? I don't know. I'm just trying to find the weird explanation for the dome, and all aviaries are pretty much dome-shaped. Our one chance to escape turns out to be a one-way ticket across the Styx. Oh, now we're going for Greek references. Dante's Inferno, anyone? There's nothing we can do but search for clues inside the school. Where shall we go next? Let's go back to the maintenance office. Let's go hang out with creepy janitor man. Creepy janitor man might have that file open. Very well. We return to the maintenance office and explain what outside to Mr. 1. And explain what outside? You mean what is outside to Mr. 1? Okay. I see. It seems that our worst predictions have come to bear their evil fruit. Our worst predictions? Do you know something? We can predict things without knowing that they will happen. Confusing predictions with reality that can be fatal, young one. I've been wondering for a while. Mr. 1, are you really just a maintenance worker? No, he's bright and shiny, or wherever the hell he called himself. He's Lady Gaga, the maintenance worker. He's bright and shiny. An innocent student was shot. I suppose it's time to introduce myself properly. Are you a superhero? He is a superhero. Okay. I am Leon JB. At least not Leon BJ. That'd be an entirely different meaning. Actually, I think it's Leon. Yeah, the E makes it Leon. Leon JB. I am Leon S. Kennedy. One of the greatest soaring wings of the Dove Party. S-Class Agent. Pleased to meet you. It's the Hawk Party doing it. The Dove Party? He looks like a cockatiel to me. I've heard of this Dove Party, the secret organization that advocates living in harmony with humans, correct? You are well informed, young one. It's a noble's duty to be well informed. I feel like I missed something. There are two schools of thought driving the politics today. The Dove Party, who believes we should live peacefully with humans, and the Hawk Party, who believes we should exterminate them. Exterminate? But I thought the war with humans were over. The wars with humans. Do you really believe that everyone just decided to live happily together? Sadly, that is not how the world works. There are still many disagreements between birds and humans, and so the hawks and the doves have come to their foray. We discovered hawk activity at this school, so I was dispatched to investigate. And what we feared would happen has happened. Wait a minute, are you saying the hawk party has something to do with St. Pigeonations? It seems hard to believe. This school is known for its tolerant policies toward humans. It even welcomed Angelus as a representative. I cannot confirm or deny it, but there are a growing number of hawk operatives attached to the school. The headmaster's secret file will probably answer some of your questions. Oh, you got it open. Thank you. That should speed things up a little. Let's look inside. The human representative. To help humans and birds advance hand and feather toward bright and happy future, we have decided to enroll one human in the school starting in the year I knew it! I knew it! I knew future shenanigans. I knew I wasn't going nuts. 2,187. They will be the human representative. The pandemic has long since ended, but we must nonetheless be cautious of the risk of infection with the Sumatera influenza when making our selection. Wait, is that... No, that's not Sumatra, it's Sumatera. We will be picking a strong, healthy 15-year-old human who displays hereditary resistance to Sumatera influenza. Oh, I was 15? But then again, this is 2 years ago, so I'm 17. Still makes me underage. I think Tori Spelling should be arrested. The human representative, this is talking about Angelus, no matter how you look at it. 2,187, that's when we enrolled here. No, the year's 1999. I was installing the Y2K protection in the schools, and I came here, and that was last week. To anyone who gets that reference, good on you. Come on, let's read the rest. The chosen individual who will be a symbol of human concession, to wit, a hostage for birds. A hostage? That's a weird way to put it. If the representative is to die in the school, the entire campus will be sealed off, and all birds inside will be given to the humans as prisoners. What? The seal will be lifted 12 hours after the death is confirmed, and the birds will be delivered into the humans. I don't think that these birds agreed to that. The school will be declared an extraterritorial zone, and avian protest of any human reprisals will not be tolerated. If Ancient is to die. So her death was connected to the dome after all. And so when the doctor killed me, in his ending, supposedly this happened. And they just hunted him down in the park and shot him. Interesting. And he probably freaked out. He didn't know where to go because he had no place to go because of the dome. The important part is the final gruesome exchange. Basically, if anything happens to Ancient, the representative of humanity, then the entire school takes the blame. That is remarkably unfair. They have poor choice in schools. If anything, that's going to cause more segregation, because I'm not going to enroll myself in a school where if the single minority dies, we all get arrested. Okay, that's not fucking fair. I mean, no offense. Like, let's say in a realistic perspective, let's say it was minority driven. And let's say it's like the 60s, right? And they just integrated black and white students, right? Or I should say the 70s, because it was like kind of late 60s when it started happening. Let's say I went to the school where they just introduced the first black student. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but if the stipulation was if that black student dies, everyone at the school, every student gets hand delivered to like a Malcolm X type for punishment because the black student died and he happened to go to the school I was at, I would say fuck no, because that's not fair. You know, punish the culprit, but don't punish me. I just was going to school, and I was open enough to go to school with a minority, which was unheard of at the time. And I'm not trying to be racist here, but if it means my death, if they die, I don't want to connect my life to anyone else, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, whatever. Like, that's just not fair. Basically, if anything happens to age representing humanity, then the entire school takes the blame. That's bullshit. So it would seem. They trap us in here to give the humans time to arm themselves. The dome will open in a few hours, but what awaits us outside is a horde of bloodthirsty monkeys. Okay. They're calling humans as a whole monkeys. Okay, my analogy about the 70s and it being a black and white integrated school, that has nothing to do with it. So it's not the game being racist. I just use that as an example. I didn't call who's waiting outside monkeys. I did not do that. I just want to make that clear. That was my analogy. But I mean, seriously, like let's say the roles were reversed. Let's say black school has the first white admission. If something happens to the white kid, the entire school takes the blame. Like, they're not going to arrest the entire school. I don't care how corrupt anyone thinks the cops may be, which I personally don't think cops are corrupt. I think they're like anyone else. They just kind of just do their job if they feel like it, whatever. They're not going to arrest the entire school. How humorous. It's not humorous at all. So this was the true face of her enrollment here. She was a time bomb. She might as well just died and blowed up the entire school. That's basically what happened here. I rather think that this whole thing was arranged to widen the divide between humans and birds from the start. Yeah, exactly. Indeed, things here go deeper than we ever realized. Basically, they set this school up the bomb. And it detonated the second they poisoned my character. As you know, the school's public stance is very liberal on the human cohabitation issue. In fact, the school's principal financer, the Ichio Group, I don't know, has been heavily involved in human charities for the past 20 years. I've investigated the history of St. Pigeonations extensively, and I can confirm that it was founded with the ideal of coexisting with humans. But the Hawk Party has been sending agents here for a long time, eating away at the system, like a dreadful virus. We have had information about this document for some time. It is real. It's kind of hard to take all of this in at once, just to make sure. For 12 hours, the dome will remain closed. During that time, humans will gather to take revenge. And then, when the dome opens, they will kill every bird in sight. This is a really twisted deal. And with that, another era of war between birds and humans will begin. That student who got shot when he flew out the hatch. There are already humans waiting out there with the guns. With their guns. She was discovered this morning, and the dome was raised soon after. The time is not from when she died, but from when her death was confirmed. The evacuation was about 2 hours ago. Yeah, it was right at the start of the second period. Around 10 o'clock. And so we have until 10 p.m. before we're all killed. You seem awfully calm, Sakuya, even after watching some birdie get shot. Remain calm, Kawara. Do nothing but worry about what's gone wrong and you'll be next. I do not know who did this, but they will rule the day they decide to tangle with a LaBeouf. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf can take him. What time is it, Mr. Leone? Salvatore Leone? Am I playing Grand Theft Auto 3? Speaking of which, this sounds like a good idea. Just past 2. We have only 8 hours then. 8 hours. We have to find an escape route in 8 hours or we'll be killed. If we go outside, we'll be killed anyway. I'm sorry, recording cut off there for a second. There has to be another way. My dictionary does not contain the word impossible. We shall continue the investigation. You're very decisive, Sakuya. I'm glad you're here. Do not attempt to flatter me, Kawara. I'm not, I mean it. For serious. Do the Zoolander face. We found the connection between Ancient's death and the dome. There's clearly some sort of intrigue behind it all. I don't want to die without knowing the truth. We'd better go now. We have to solve this before we run out of time. You are a promising lad. If I were to give you a piece of advice, well, don't miss the forest for the trees. Don't miss the forest for the trees. Exclamation. Sakuya, there's one more file. Operation Hatoful? What's that? I don't know. That's what it says on here. The bottom half is torn off. We can't read it at any rate. I don't feel like it has anything hopeful anyway. That's an awfully friendly name for a confidential document, though. Stupid Japanese. Stupid racism. Look, it's spelled hurtful. Whoa, it is. Hurtful boyfriend? I thought Hatoful just meant heartful. I suspect that we will find many of the things to come quite hurtful. Right. It's probably something important given that is in a locked file. Indeed. I hadn't heard of this hurtful thing before, but you might want to look into the school's history. To the library, to talk to Ginky. The school's history. At any rate, the headmaster must have known what would happen after Angelus died. Maybe he offed himself. Maybe he knew what was going to happen and he just poisoned himself and slipped into a slow death. The escape hatch was no doubt in place to allow him alone to escape. Well, that wasn't going to happen. Which means that maybe he had a guarantee of safety for himself. I don't want to suspect an elder, but it does look that way. Everything going on here is connected. We may well find something of use in the records. Right, let's go look at the documents then. I'm not the only Dove agent in the school. Yeah, Ouya. I'm sure the other will help you as well. Good luck, gentlemen. Well, Ouya is the one who pointed him out as being helpful, so it makes sense. Time to go look for more clues. Maybe we should write in the notes first. Mr. Salvatore Leone said to investigate the school's history, but how? Where do we work? Where do we look? Where do we work? What do we do now? The headmaster's office or the library, perhaps. We've already looked at the headmaster's office. Did you see anything like the school, like school records or anything? I would have thought they'd be there, but I don't recall seeing any. The library it is, then. And the mystery we have left to solve is the blood-stained stranger Oko saw going into the infirmary yesterday. Exactly. What with the headmaster dying, an army of gun-toting bipeds showing up to turn us into jerk chicken. You're a jerk. And it all, I almost forgot about it. And the scarecrow, we still don't know anything where he came from. He appeared along with the dome, and no doubt it is connected to it. If we continue to investigate, I'm sure his origins will become clear. And Angelus' gruesome end is the best clue we have. For now, we should forget the puppet and chase after the blood-stained bird. Right. That's that decided then. We'll go to the library and read up on school history, and we'll look for that bird. It probably doesn't matter, but which should we do first? Go. I imagine we'd have better luck going to the library. And I also want to talk to Ginky if he's there. The library. I wonder if Ginky's at the gym yet. Ginky? Who? I met him in the library earlier. He stayed behind? An unusually dense individual, to be sure. The library's a little ways from here. We spent some time jogging through the hallways.